The next step in the owner draw process is to pay your vendors. So again, just like before, from AppFolio, I'm going to go to the accounting tab on the left-hand side. I'm going to go into the payables section. And on the right-hand side, I'm going to choose the option for pay bills. From here, I'm going to choose all maker bank accounts again. And then under payee type, this time I'm going to choose vendors instead of management company. We're just going to go ahead and select all of these. I usually like to do a quick review at this point. All of our vendors should be paid out of our operating account. So I just like to scroll down the list and make sure that once I get to the bottom down here, there's nothing, like you can see this invoice here for CNC Realty is being paid out of our trust account, which is not correct. So I just need to go into this actual invoice. Okay, I'm paying CNC Realty, and this should actually be coming out of our operating account. Okay, so I'm going to hit save there. Looking at this amount, I'm thinking that this actually looks like it was meant to have been billed to the property owner, not for us to pay out. So let me just go through this real quick and check. Here we have a payment for CNC Realty at invoice number 141 for $100, which is a match for what we have down here. So I'm actually going to change this invoice, and instead of paying CNC Realty, I'm actually going to pay Real Property Management. And that's correct. Perfect. So now that that's been adjusted, I'm just going to come back to our payments tab, and I'm just going to refresh this so that I can clear out that payment from the trust account. Again, bank account is all maker and the payee type is vendor. We'll select all again and then scroll down here at the bottom, and you can see that there's no longer any payments coming out of the trust account here. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit continue. Okay, and for any check payments that are being printed out, we always like to make sure that the check memo is void after 90 days. So I usually just copy that and run through. If there's anybody who doesn't have it stated here, then I'll just go ahead and paste it in there. You can also set the default check memo for a vendor on the vendor page as well, so that you don't have to do that. But as you can see, some of ours didn't pre-populate. So for any of the e-check payments, I always just highlight this section for the whole thing, and then I'm just going to print a copy of this, and that way it can be approved. And the easiest way for Amber or Ruth or somebody else in the accounting department to review these items before the payments are sent. So once this portion of it is printed, I'm just going to make sure that they're all selected, and then we're just going to hit finalize. This will usually take a minute to generate, just depending on how many payments you're processing out. So you just want to watch and make sure nothing crazy happens. You always want to do a review of, what's being paid. Now, when it comes to printing the checks, you'll see once everything posts, you can actually just hit print checks. And this is going to open up a PDF of your actual check payments to be printed. So these will get printed on our blank checks. And then from there, we're actually going to match them up with all of the invoices. So we'll take the check stub and tear off the bottom check stub for our records, and we'll staple that with the invoices for that vendor in the order that they're listed here. And then we'll stack everything together for checks to be signed. As you can see on some of these checks, like this one here, you can see obviously this vendor is receiving payments for a couple of different properties and a couple of different invoices. So we want to make sure that whenever we deliver that for review and signature, that they're in this order. So you want to show that invoice number 40674 for $59.33 is on top, followed by 40750 and 40751. And that way, whoever is doing the review and signature has a quick reference and they don't have to hunt from invoice to invoice. The final step for check printing in Albuquerque is going to be to print the tax authority checks. So I'm going to leave this here so that I can verify and send my e-checks once they've been approved. And I'm just going to hop over to another AppFolio tab, go to the payables section, back to pay bills, bank account is all Maker as always. And then for the payee type, I'm actually going to scroll down to tax authorities and do a quick search. And then we're selecting all, we're always selecting all, hit continue. Now these checks are going to be manually deposited into the operating account. So they're coming to me basically, since I handle the books for both sides. And so I'll just, there's no need for me to put a check memo in here, since it's basically just going from one of our bank accounts to another one of our bank accounts for holding, for us to make our sales tax payments to New Mexico. So I'm just going to finalize this, and then I will print these checks. Last draw of the month, there's not a whole lot of taxes that are generally being collected. However, for the first draw of the month, when we process that on the 10th, a lot of the times these tax authority checks will have multiple pages of backup. So you'll end up with one check that has like 5 or 6 pages of additional pay stub detail. And in that scenario, I will go through and just do a custom print and only print the check portion of it, and then print the backup on just plain pieces of paper for reference. That way I'm not wasting any blank checks just to do that. So from here, you just want to take your invoices with your checks, match those up for review and approval. And for the e-checks, basically just do the same thing, matching up with what's on the printout for review and approval. It's very important with e-checks that everything be reviewed and approved ahead of time, because once you verify and send the payment for an e-check and you enter your AppFolio code, there's no going back from that. So everything needs to be 100% accurate before you hit that button. That's pretty much it as far as processing vendor payments and paying other bills through AppFolio.